Okay, this is Access Chapter 8, Movie 2 for the training. So in Movie 1, all we did was get through this step 2. So now we're in the SPA 2 database, and we have this table campaign that we created using the make table in the marketing database. So now we want to open up this in design view, because we need to make some changes. So when it comes through, it doesn't necessarily bring all of the formatting that you would want. So, okay, so, all right, so in mailing ID, change to primary key. I'm going to click on that, make it a primary key. Change the description to the mailing ID primary key. Change the format to MID quote 0. All right, so that's it for that one. Customer ID, change caption to customer and description to the customer ID foreign key. So that's going to be the connector. We're going to have to make a relationship between this table and another table, probably the customer table. We're thinking about what this field is. Okay, redeemed. Change the lookup control to a checkbox. So I'm over down here in lookup. Instead of text box, I'm going to click on it and make it a checkbox. Okay. Campaign name. Change the caption. I'm going to go back to general. Caption, campaign name to campaign name. This looks out of whack here. So then the campaign name. Campaign type. Change the caption to campaign, down here, caption to campaign, I can spell right, campaign type, and the campaign type. Just as I'm typing, I just want to, like, these descriptions are not something I would ever do in the real world. Like campaign name, how much more descriptive can that be? What does really the campaign name add? It's just, but we're doing it because that's what the instructions say. But really, you would use the description to identify something that's not identifiable by the field name that you would need to give more information about. Okay, start date. Change the caption to start date. Start space date, and then the go back up here. The campaign start date, end date. While I'm up here, I'm gonna do the campaign end date. Caption is going to be end date. Discount code. The POS discount code. Caption is going to be discount space code, and then details, the details of the campaign. Alright, so I'm going to save that. I'm going to switch over. Here you can see my checkbox. Just make sure. Oh, I got a typo here, look. So I'm going to go back, or I'm going to get that one. So that was campaign name, I'm sure. No, campaign type. There it is. I have a typo. Campaign type. Save it again. Just double check. Discount code, details, start date, campaign type, campaign name, redeemed, customer. Okay. All right. So we have this step number 3 done. Okay. So now let's look at 4. Create a relationship between customer and the campaign, in the campaign and customer ID and customer. Okay, so in order to do that, I need to close that out and then go to my database tools relationship. So you can see there's some relationships already built, but we have a new table, right? We just created this new table that was called what? Table campaign, which we don't see here, right? Because it's new. So I need to do this show table. It's going to bring up my list of tables and queries, and I'm going to find table campaign and add it, and then close. There it is. Right? So you see it's there, but now we have to connect it. And so we know that the customer ID is the foreign key, or the repeating information in this campaign that's going to allow us to join with the customer, so we know we can relate the customer with the campaign that they are working or are attached to. So we're going to do customer ID to customer ID. We're going to just verify it's a one-to-many. That's true. One customer could be in many campaigns. We're going to enforce referential integrity and create. So now I have my connector between customer and campaign. I'm going to save it and close it, and we are done with that. Okay, so let's read what the next one's. Create an append query that appends updated data from the marketing department's spring promotion for the Turquoise Oasis Spa. The data is stored in the Marketing 2 database and needs to be appended to the campaign table. Okay, so we need to go to the database that has the information. So that's going to be this Marketing 2. So I'm going to open up my list of files from this and opening up the Marketing 2. Okay, and I'm going to enable it. So let's take a look. Create an append query. So like I said, I always begin any action query with just making a select query. Make sure I have it solid, then switch it to the action. Because really, once you do that action, it actually happens. So if it's wrong, you're doing bad things to data. Okay, so we're going to read here. The append query should include mailing ID, customer ID, and redeemed from the mailing, and then from the campaign. So let's create into query from table mailing and table campaign. We're going to pull that down and start putting our data in. So mailing ID, customer ID, redeemed. Campaign name, campaign type, start date, end date, discount code, department, and details. Okay. Criteria should be Turquoise Oasis Spa, and I'm going to run it. Make sure that that is only the Turquoise Oasis Spa, and it is. So now I can uncheck that because we don't want to see it when I run it. We don't want it to go when we're appending it. So the criteria for the start date should be 4/1/2018. So I'm going to run that again. So now not only is it just the spa, Turquoise Spa, it's start date of April 1st. And it is, right? So I'm down to 9 records right now. Run your query and then save it as QRY append data. Okay? So I have it done. It's good. Now what I need to do is actually run it as an append, right? So we're going to append. What are we appending it to? Well, we're appending it to table campaign, TBL campaign, and it's in another database, and the other database is gotta find it. Date 8, and it's the spa. Okay, run it. You are about to append 9 rows. Good. Save. Close. I'm going to close that out again and open it back up. Oops, wrong thing to open up. Open up my spa. So now if I look at my campaign, I've got 21. And look, here's all of the records that begin April 1st. Okay? So we are done with step 5, and I'm going to stop this movie. I'll pick up the next one on step 6. Thanks.